Starved in Metropolis. Hooked on Necropolis. Addict of Metropolis. Do the worm on the Acropolis. Slam dance Cosmopolis. Enlighten the populace. Hungry darkness of living, who will thirst in the pit? She spent lifetime deciding how to run from it. Yes, 1983 for me was the year of the Clash's Combat Rock. 11 years old. Well, 10 years old for most of 1983. That's Ghetto Defendant by The Clash from their final album, Combat Rock, their most mainstream of their, in hindsight, brief but impactful rock band career. Punk, new wave, a dash of reggae. I'm just going with it. Happy New Year, everyone. If you're new to the channel, if you've come to us through seeing me on Wes's Thinking Critical's Saturday Morning Delight, that's right, the Comics Aficionados. This is where it all starts here with the spinner rack. I get a lot of compliments for the spinner rack. Thank you so much. It's got a holiday theme. It's the end of the holidays. I'm celebrating until the Epiphany. So why not? It's the time of year. I'm not an active Christian, but I believe in the power of the holiday spirit, and with the winter solstice, with Hanukkah, with Christmas, with Kwanzaa, with with the New Year, and different cultures have different New Years too. I mean, there's a Chinese New Year, there's a Jewish New Year, there's a Muslim New Year. I mean, and then there's the Western New Year. So the world runs on 4 different calendars. There are 4 different New Year's days, depending on which libretto you're using to follow the opera with, so to speak. Speaking of librettos, little publications, it is New Comic Book Day. It's the last day of the year. New Comic Book Day. I did not go to my local comic book shop today. I've only would have had the new issue of Flash Gordon from Dynamite Comics, the Wicked Pissa, Jeremy Adams book. It's Flash Gordon 14. I know this would be on my... This is probably be the one book on my pull list. Oh, it looks like they got a beautiful incentive cover. But it looks like Flash Gordon is fighting like Tars Tarkas of all things. And that's a completely different universe. I think. Is John Carter of Mars? Has it been dovetailed into the story out of like sheer licensing rights and stuff? Let me know. I don't think so. John Carter, Warlord of Mars, Barsoom, and all of that. Deja Thoris, Tars Tarkas, Red and Green Martians. That's all a different place. Unless, I mean, does Defenders of the Unknown? Is that it? The Defender. There's like a team with like Mandrake the Magician, the Phantom. It's all the King's feature licenses that Dynamite has. This is Mad Cave. Mad Cave got some of these. Their Phantom was pretty good. I read the first 2 issues. But this would be available on the. It's written by Jeremy Adams. Artist this month is Eder Messias. and it's a Will Conrad cover. That's the A cover, and it's looking, we have here, like, we could be anti-Flash and anti-Dale, and seeing our Dale Arden, the good, not the queen of the universe of the other, of the negative universe, but our Dale Arden facing the Executioner. Oh, dun dun dun, peril. And it's old school, so it's not like, this isn't victimization. This is just selling copy. I read actually a few Marvel books this week. I got some review copies. So I have read the Ultimates 19. I have read Ultimate Endgame #1. I have read X-Men Age of Revelation finale #1, which was interesting. I mean, the whole, it's date of release, and I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil it. I still got to read Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red #4. I'm looking forward to that because that's been a kind of a strong book. I'm enjoying the hell out of this Marvel Zombies Red Band #4. Marvel Zombies Red Band has art is Jan Bazaldua. Really, I thought it was Jan, but Jan is a Mexican comic book artist known for her work on Mr. and Mrs. X and Legion of X for Marvel Comics, and I'm really liking their comics. I love their use of onomatopoeia. Great. This has been fun stuff. Marvel Zombies Red Band has been fun. This is going to collect really nicely. I mean, I don't see myself spending $25 over 5 floppies, but maybe if it's $20 for a trade paperback, let's say they're charging 25 now. This is eventually gonna, this is definition of a book that's written for the trade. This illusion of periodical publication, of serializing a story like this. It's fun, and it's going somewhere, and it uses interesting multiverse based action figures in this toy box, and the heartbreaking, and the funniness. It starts with Deadpool being eaten, and he keeps regenerating, so it's kind of like he's just this nummy treat, and kind of like the Watcher narrator in a way too, like the Uatu the Watcher. Is starting this off, and just like. And it's got likable heroes, young heroes too, like a young Peter Parker and a young Jessica Jones. You know what I mean? A what if? What if they were some of the last humans alive? What if they kiss? Because Jessica Jones was interesting. Jessica Jones was brought into the continuity, and that was kind of the joke of Killraven the Purple Man about respect the continuity at the end of that run of Marvel Max's Alias, of Brian Bendis. It introduces Jessica Jones in a retcon that Jessica Jones went to Peter Parker's high school and had a crush on him from a distance. You never would have noticed Jessica until the day she gained her powers, and unfortunately lost her family in hitting a radioactive isotope, which gave her like the super strength and the ability to fly and nigh invulnerability kind of things. You know what I mean? And yeah, blah blah blah. But it's good to see Jessica Jones as Jewel in this. Before Killraven got his hands on her the first time, when she was an Avenger. It was like she was one of the Avengers during a certain time of the Avengers. Like the Bronze Age Avengers. And I don't know, in Marvel's Alias, blah blah blah. But Marvel Zombies Red Band #4, it's been using Jessica Jones, and a younger Jessica Jones, the Jessica Jones who never hit the bottle, a Jessica Jones who was still, a very young 20-something, and she was an Avenger, and back with the Avengers Mansion, and just like the Mark IV Iron Man suit, and just it's great. I love Alias. by Bendis. I would love to go back and get those floppies. I would, for the ads, for the page feel. That would be good. Not get in trade paperback or in omnibuy. I would love to get that in floppies. Some things I just want in floppies. Some things I'm not a big trade paperback kind of fan. I love floppies. I still got to get to Punisher Red Band by Ben Percy. I still got to get to Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. So this is issue 5. So this is going to be issue 5 of 5 because these are 5-issue arcs. That's what they do in this final epic showdown. Yeah. Runs will go 5 issues instead of 6. But that's been going on for a while. I gotta also read Sorcerer Supreme #1 by Steve Orlando and Legacy 45. Whatever the Legacy, based on what indicia, on what volume of what is this? The continuing, is this the numbering from the previous 4 years almost of Scarlet Witch by Steve Orlando? It went from Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver to Scarlet Witch to Scarlet Witch and Vision, and those were like 10 issues each or so. And there was another one in there too. We had Darcy from the Thor MCU, Darcy, as her clever, perky sidekick in her magic shop. I read these. when I get my balls busted by the gang on Thinking Criticals, Comics Aficionados, it's no joke. It's all joke. It's a great kayfabe. We got a great work going on. People are like, wow, they really bust Sully's balls. That's the point, though. I mean, there's one thing that unites us thematically and a vibe. I got to say, I'm so blessed and grateful for another year of being on Wes's show, hanging out with these friends. I got to meet them in real life. We hung out at Dallas Fan Expo back in late May. I got to, we all hung out together. Perch bought us beer and supper. Thank you so much, Perch. It was so generous of you. It was awesome to meet you and hang out with you, and be your panel mate too. I mean, Perch is a big voice in our spheres, and I've just hanging out with Max, hanging out with Sparrow, hanging out with Josh, with Nick Weiser, who is my erstwhile next door neighbor roommate at the hotel. We ended up getting hotel rooms next to each other by complete sheer cosmic accident. You know what I mean? Cosmic rays, anyone? And he was my con buddy. So we would go back and forth from the hotel to the site. And because it's still downtown Dallas. I mean, you don't want to be alone at 2 a.m. coming back from the bar. You know what I mean? Still, I mean, it was that kind of neighborhood. And it made it extra fun too. And just meeting everyone. And I'm meeting Cajun Corey. We have pictures. We got a lot. And meeting Wes. And Wes was sick too. He had caught a cold or something. And also he had another physical ailment that was a pre-existing thing that got aggravated during his trip. And he's on vacation for a month, visiting the States, or for for a few weeks with his wife and his 3 kids. And so, and you take planes, you get sick, you go to cons, you get con crud. Keep washing your hands, because not just because it's good for, good hygiene, but, that's the number one thing. Don't always drink fresh bottled water, pay for it. You know what I mean? Or bring it if you can, and don't refill your water at the water fountain. Don't do that. I learned that. That's live and learn. That's some really valuable con advice. And yeah, we're just looking at new comics this week. I got a bunch I still got to get to. I got to get to Marvel Knights: The World to Come issue 5. I'm so uninterested in this book. I have a copy of it. I'm going to read it. And look, there's a few. We had the Mark and Coloco variant cover. Look at this. Is beautiful, because this was a great reveal at the end of the last issue. Of course, because this is like old man Daredevil, not to be confused with what Charles Soule just did with David McNiven, Daredevil Cold Day in Hell, which kind of gave like Daredevil like the Spider-Man Rain treatment in a way. Just non-canonical but fun story. This is great. I mean, I like that cover. And then that's the 1 in 25 Martin Coloco cover, but I'm not gonna buy it. But is it like, oh, it's going 6 issues? Okay, that's going 6 issues. All right, that's indeed, and that's coming out today too. Are you enjoying it? Let me know in the comment section. What are you buying? What are you enjoying? Feral's gone 19 issues. That's interesting. I wonder what the game plan is for that. Spawn the Dark Ages #2. Now, if I remember, and if they have issue #1, I'll pick up both of them because the Liam Sharp art in this is outstanding. He is the writer and he's the artist. His pencils are, and this is solicited for 5 issues. So, I mean, this is at least, this will collect very nicely. But I mean, as like as a comic book collector, it's like, you know, I mentioned this on Wes's show, we did a best of worst of last week, so I'm gonna be reusing my list, and because it's Pikachu's list, and Pikachu got a bath, and he smells April fresh, and he's been like he's been free. He had free reign around the apartment. He's enjoying his New Year's Eve. He's usually, you know, secured, you know, as a prop. I'm breaking kayfabe in the fourth wall for a second. As a prop, he's supported by several, clothespin, safety pins, and and to secure, and you need an amount of duct tape to secure the sunglasses on him behind his head. You know, like behind the scenes stuff. He's still, he's a beloved character to the show and the network. Yet, in all, honestly, he's a stuffed animal, but it's a cute prop and it's a nice gag, and I appreciate, my executive producer, who has, is April fresh. It was time to, it gets dusty in here. Poor little guy. But yeah, Spawn the Dark Ages. I mean, this is one to watch. Hey, hey, dun 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 dun. Radiant Black 39. I haven't read an issue with Radio. I heard Escape #5 here. This is Rick Remender. This is on Image, and I heard that people have been raving about this. I'm not really into it. Lost Fantasy. Oh, I gotta rate Undead Iron Fist. I got that in my pile too. I mean, but yeah, this is a light week. And then what's funny about it, there's no DC Comics this week. There are no DC Comics this week. Boom Studios with Mary Sue. This is Megan Fitzmartin. And girls. I mean, I wonder I hope this is selling to whomever it's selling to. I mean, how many issues is it? It's going 5 issues because, it's what is this about? Reality versus fanfic. It's from Boombox. Boombox is an imprint of Boom Studios, and it probably, like, I would say like Boombox is probably like their version of Vertigo Comics. This looks a lot like something Vertigo would have done back in the day. Like, if anyone remember the Dead Enders, you know what I mean? I thought I got a copy of that. That's it. That was a good, melodramatic, futuristic, a little dystopian, a little bit of Watchmen, a little bit of V for Vendetta, a little bit of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Maybe not as violent as something such as Martial Law, or Judge Dredd's, Mega City 1, but just an Almost Tomorrow. And I wonder how well it's aged. I mean, I have a copy of that somewhere. Who did the Dead Enders? Vertigo. Is it Sean Phillips? It was written by Ed Brubaker, and it had art by Warren Pleece and Philip Bond. did covers too. And I share this tab instead. Deadenders. Because we like to wear wikis after what is colloquially called the Cataclysm. A city called New Bethlehem is segregated between its center sector, where something approaching normal life is maintained by use of artificial sunlight, and its oppressive, crime-ridden suburbs and outlying districts, which are home to a new religion called Doomsterism. Self-centered teenager Beezer begins experiencing otherworldly visions of a place that is definitely not New Bethlehem. 16 issues. It's collected in one volume. And it's kind of like a cousin piece to because it was published in March 2000 through June 2001. And yeah, the complete series is a trade paperback. Yeah, that's the one I got. The collected editions here. And yeah, it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet too. It's like, give these star-crossed, teenage, boy and girl. Well, he's from the wrong side of the tracks. She's a good girl, with a future, of the bright future in this futuristic city of segregated society. They fall in love. What becomes of the new world they can create between these two, this yin and yang? Let's talk about comic books. Yeah, I mean, this is what we're here for. You handsome guy in a tank top, enjoying the end of the year. I've been enjoying some time off from work. We're closed and we reopen first week of January. So it's been nice time to recollect. I've been sleeping in. It's good for my health. I love it. I love sleep. The older I get, the more comfortable I am with getting sleep. And that means going to bed at my bedtime, because I wake up at 3:30 in the morning to be at work by 6. It's basically 45 minutes to an hour worth of commute time in there. And I give myself an hour in the morning to stretch, to make my bed, to have breakfast and a cup of coffee, ease into my morning, brush my teeth, shave, buzz my head, use my electric, you're getting old. Check your nose hairs, check your ear hair. You know what I mean? Check your eyebrows. I mean, the older I get, I'm starting to get this one funny snaggle of an eyebrow hair. And it's like, it's like they have a mind of their own. I have to do something about it. Getting there really, invest in that $25 gold-plated tweezers. You know what I mean? With the angled tip. They're the best. You're a grown-up. You deserve it. Man or woman. Any human in the grand spectrum of humanity. Tweezers. What? And good ones too. I spent $30 on tweezers, just tweezers, but they're like that gold kind of color just the right angle at the top. Yeah, we've gone to hygiene aficionados. That's right. I'll be putting Pikachu back in his proper perch presently, and did that for the alliteration, but for shortly. I mean, I'm going to enjoy letting Pikachu have some free range for a little while. But just the bit works better when he's on the shoulder, because he's been there the entire time of, from the Plaid Palpatine days. And I hope you liked the Plaid Palpatine holiday special. That was fun. And that was fun to do. But let's get to it. I don't have any new comic books to show this week. Last week, just what did I buy? I haven't done much comic book content. Well, because it's like I'd like to do more with hockey, and I only have so much time to do a show. And I do a live stream and talk about comic books every week at Wes's. I really do. And so mean, am I changing my content here? No, I'm just this is a multifaceted channel. This is not just about comic book content. It never has been. I'd like to do more with my cooking. You know, I have more reasons to cook at home now. You know, just but I also have less time on the weekends too. I mean, I've made new friends. I've got new plans to do. We have weekends off together, and so that's life. I mean, I'm not making any announcements or anything, but you know, it's good to, you know, meet people, hang out, make time for each other, have a date night. It's really nice. Let's see, what did I get? Well, Sacrificers came last week. Green Lantern 30. Lex Luthor versus the Demon and the DCKO. It's mandatory. This is as far to DCKO as I'm getting. One of the best series this year is G.I. Joe Energon Universe. Sacrificers came back, and it's really, really good. The best, one of the best, save the best for last, I guess. Crowdfunders I got this year of 2025. You know, just and I'm not trying to compare it to anyone else's because I've had a great year with the crowdfundings that I got. But it's She by Billy Tucci. What else? This is just the most recent stuff I got because I haven't done my own show in weeks now. Not a Sunday show. I have been focusing more on the smoking fuck. That's Freudian flip. The smoking puck, which is my Boston-based Bruins biased hockey show. Smoking Puck started as a column, a blog I did for years. But I also did the same thing I did there that I do here. Blogged about cooking, blogged about comic books, blogged about spirituality, blogged about hockey. It's the same thing, just a video format. And so it's like I try to make room for everything. You know, hockey is one of my hobbies, just one of them. Because in comics are another one of my hobbies. Like hockey's my sport. Well, there's baseball in the summertime, but that's baseball in the summertime. It's hockey season now, and I'm a nut for hockey. But yeah, another KO tie-in. This is like as far as I'm getting to DCKO is through the titles I'm already reading. So by sheer volume of the writer I'm buying, I think Jeremy Adams wins 2025 because I was getting 4 of his titles monthly for several months up until recently. Now it's 3. So by volume, I've gotten more Jeremy Adams titles than who comes in the second place, Joshua Williamson, with 2 at least, with Superman and with Energon Universe G.I. Joe. He's doing great jobs on both. I'm so satisfied as a reader. With Philip Kennedy Johnson, he's got 2, I'd say like 1.5, maybe 2. Well, kind of 3. I mean, I am getting his Superman House of L mini. That's a mini series, so that's written for the trade. You know what I mean? But it's PJK, and it's fun. He writes really good Superman. Since he's also signed exclusive with Marvel for a couple of years. This is the last PJK Superman we're going to be getting for a while. Pause button. What do the Pikas use to hold forks? Pause. That's right. There's a pause button. No, I needed to take a phone call. You know what I mean? We have plans tonight. It's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve 2025. It's gonna be New Year's Day tomorrow. All is quiet. Oh, New Year's Day. We're having Chinese food tonight and in company. And I think it's going to be it could be between 6 and 8 people. So we're having Chinese for 8. It's expensive too. And some cheap bubbly at midnight. You know, I'll get a kiss one at midnight too, and that's nice because hooray for me. That's nice. I earned it. I'm not telling you anything about my love life, not anymore. I'm like, I've privated a lot of videos, especially all the MGTOW stuff, the incel stuff, you know, how to be a better single. I mean, I don't, you know, you gotta, you know, hey, sometimes it's good to let go of that stuff. Maybe it's good to just delete everything and go forward. Wow, I sound like an academic postmodernist. So where were we? Yeah, so no, I needed a phone call to take. So yeah, we're getting like, you know what I mean? Is there enough beer? You know what I mean? Just like, oh, you know, get that. You know, I'll see you later, alligator. And then, you know, supper's at like 6:30. And look, I still haven't seen Superman. I thought I was gonna watch it by now, you know, and be one of the movies of 2025. I've only seen 2 movies, Honey Don't by Ethan Coen, and Begonia blew my mind. Transformers still is one of the best, and I got the Jorge Corona variant cover because I'm off the Daniel Warren Johnson. Well, just because maybe I just need the time. I just need some time, some distance. You know, I don't think he's going to make a mea culpa for posting that image. And it's like, you know, that happened in 2025. That was comics news of 2025. I'm not going to show the image. I'm not going to disseminate it. It deserves to be like relegated to the history's dustbin. Really, it was a comic book convention commission done for a paid price at Capitalism in Action, agreed upon with the guest or the customer, the consignee. But then Mr. Daniel Warren Johnson had to disseminate that image on his Twitter. Didn't take it down. It was really had like the comics bros, all the progressive lefty bro, you know, the dude bros on that side. They have their own chuds. Everyone's like, "Oh, dude, look at that!" Oh. It's like, all right. I mean, I'm not sure about that. Don't leave. Sure. Okay. Well, that's Transformers. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Great book. Larry Hama's writing it. Tom Riley's doing the G.I. Joe Energon. He's doing a great job there. The penultimate issue of Ultimate Spider-Man, and I mean, it's like, I'm wondering if Ultimate Endgame #1 gave away the ending for this next issue of this much ballyhooed but useless book. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This book, nothing matters in this book. Nothing. Jimmy Palmiotti and Dan Panosian's The Punisher, Marvel Knights, The World to Come. Great. I mean, these wraparound covers by Panosian are worth it. I mean, and his art just enriches this book. So I'm buying Marvel books. I read a lot of Marvel books, but I do buy enough. I can't buy everything, but I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, you got some Marvel books here. We've got Infernal Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein. Oh, this book's so fun. And it's so well drawn. Mark Guggenheim's been doing the yeoman's work, but when Carrie Andrews is on this book, this book sings. It's 8 issues deep now, probably going 10 issues. Let's see. It could be going 10 issues because, like I said, like they're 5-issue arcs now. It's 5 issues for trade paperbacks now. You save like 20 pages of story, for every issue. I did not get Daredevil, Punisher, Devil's Trigger number 2. I didn't. No, I they snuck it into my pull list last month because I'm getting the other Punisher, and it was nice to check out. Share this tab instead. I almost got this Nick Klein nullified cover. I could have. I mean, look at that. But I'm not a Null fan. But this was like, I love the ability to get a variant cover. But it's like this Null. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I don't care about Null. That's not part of my, big overstory. This is a great incentive cover too. The 1 in 25 Martin Coloco cover, who has done the 2 issues of this book. And this is just the multiverse madness with more mashup superheroes to bounce off of. Let's see. It's been solicited up to February 25th. So let's see if this goes on. See, artist will be Gerardo Sandoval for issue number 10. So that means that's at least 3 issues that Carrie Andrews isn't doing in this at least 10 issue run. Whoa, no, make that 2 more. Oh my goodness, is this where I get off the bus? Because I'm tuned into this for Carrie Andrews' artwork. Okay, so if this is ending at issue number 10, I mean, I can always go back and get it, but I'm into this book. This is one of the best books right now because the artwork. Oh, I wasn't even showing that. Oh boy. Here we go. Here's that nullified Nick Klein. It's Nick Klein art. I'm so into it, but I'm not a Null person. I'm not a Null fan. I don't care. Wow, that's good to know. It's good to because that it's Carrie Andrews' art that gets. Like, look at this, the 2-page splash. But they're in some kind of multiverse where they got to fight mashups, and it's kind of like overdone. Like mashups are like everywhere. I guess it's like this is just So that's where it's gone, huh? What else is here? Those are some at least December comic books. How many of those are good? How many of those made the list? I got some of Pikachu's show notes. Best of 2025. This is the list I was using over at Thinking Critical's Comics Aficionados. They got a best of, worst of. Let's start with the worst of. My number 1 worst comic book this year was my DCKO number 1 blind bag that I paid $9.99 for, $10. Upon opening it and seeing my Virgin Foil Jim Lee variant cover, I noticed a huge ding on the corner, and then on the top of the book, from the cover to about midway through the book, a huge ripple, 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 which is a disturbance on the. I would never have bought this book had I known what condition it's in. The dings on this book have nullified whatever value it has. It's meant for the dollar bin. That's the only I'm like, is this part of the deal when it comes to blind bags? Having to, is it like a scratch ticket where like it's not like, some scratch tickets you break even. You get a $5 scratch ticket here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts with the state lottery. Scratch tickets, yeah. So are blind bags like a scratch ticket, like a lottery ticket? Or a box of chocolates, you just don't know what you're going to get. Well, that's part of it, but is accepting defective merchandise part of that agreement? The suchness of having to accept a damaged book, that you don't know what you're getting until you purchase it and you open the bag, the blind bag. It's not a poly bag that you can see through and actually I've heard that this was like also going on with Marvel's first blind bag, the Ultimate Endgame #1 blind bag experience. I heard there's a lot of dissatisfaction there too. And how could they already have known that if they hadn't started opening them up last week or selling them off the back of a truck last week? Today is its street date. There is an honor code with distribution and the comic book shop selling them on release date, on street date. That's Wednesday. All right. How would you have known all of these Ultimate Endgame #1 blind bags of damaged when today, December 31st, 2025, it's its street date? Happy New Year. Happy New Year's Eve. I hope you have someone to kiss at midnight. I hope you have some non-alcoholic bubbly if booze ain't your thing. I hope you have, we're getting Chinese food. Maybe hopefully watching like, I'm for Three Stooges marathons or Twilight Zone marathons. You could Star Trek, the original series. I would throw Lord of the Rings extended cut. I'd be down. I could be talked into some fun stuff. I'm down for the nerdy stuff, for the geeky stuff. I am down for it. But yeah, DCKO #1, my blind bag, was my least favorite comic book of the year, because I would never have agreed to purchase this book for $10 if I knew how intrinsically worthless it was. It was a waste of money. There is no exchange. There is only a suchness. Caveat emptor. Let the buyer beware. That's all I got. The entire X-Men from the Ashes. Maybe not including the Phalam Karma, the fruit of action. The Phalam Karma is that's a Sanskrit thing for like the Hindu thing, spiritualities that formed Buddha and Buddhism as well. There's a custody chain there. But the fruit of action would be the Age of Revelation, which wasn't all that bad. It's just its finale was today. It's my choice to spoil it or not. I'm not. But the last section was done by Jed McKay. Art by Ryan Stegman with help by Nito Diaz. So it has the adjectiveless X-Men, which is probably the strongest of the monthly X titles. This is why I'm saying, like, I'm giving it fairness. Now, there are some highlights to some X-Men stuff. It's been Alex Paknadel. He did the Sentinels 5-issue mini, and the initial From the Ashes releases. I liked it. He also did 2 one-shots with 2 stories each. That was really interesting. I really enjoyed Alex Paknadel's. So I'm looking forward to, maybe this guy needs to be writing more and more X-Men stuff. And he's getting a Cyclops standalone series, mini perhaps. We only find these out after every 5 issues. I think that's the way that management has the editors structured. You know what I mean? 5 issues here, 5 issues there, because that is the trade paperback. That is the arc. And, you know, let's look at Psylocke. Alyssa Wong Psylocke, that just wrapped up at 10 issues. Stephanie Phillips, her Phoenix, Jean Grey Phoenix, wrapped up at 15 issues. You know, Magic wrapped up at 10 issues. But these are all under the umbrella of From the Ashes as well. These weren't great comics. They weren't. I mean, I gotta say that Psylocke by Alyssa Wong was probably the most superhero story I've seen this author do. I have my complaints with that person, because, you know what I mean, I'll never buy her stuff. Sorry. Hey, there you go. Internet adjacency on Twitter, huh? Or, you know, just, how am I supposed to? I'm not your sucker. I'm not your bitch. I'm not going to buy your stuff, especially after you blocked me on Twitter with no interaction. If this was based on my concern of and asking what happened to Danny Rand in the Iron Fist, I mean, that is just, I no thank you. A former viewer of this channel, you know, like, you know, I explained, like, oh yeah, Grek Pak and Alyssa Wong blocked me on Twitter around the same time with no explanation and no interaction. And she was simply, and she was, you know, she's Asian American, and she was like, no, you're simply probably on an anti-APL, you know, group block list. They just pass these lists around to each other and be like, oh, these are the chuds that like Ethan's tweets. These are the chuds that like have used the hashtag Comicsgeek. These are the chuds, you know, that you know block them all. I just want to buy comic books, but I'm not going to buy your comic books. Sorry, Grek Pak. You, Grek Pak. You, Alyssa Wong. You know, sorry. Next. But yeah, DC From the Ashes. It was a big fail. I mean, look at Gail Simone's Uncanny. Look at Eve Ewing's Exceptional. These are just terrible books. Mishandling the property. I mean, there's one thing I'm liking about Jed McKay's, at least. He's been covering a lot of ground too. I mean, he's been writing the soon-to-be wrapped-up Avengers run. He's also doing a pretty good Moon Knight, from Vista Conchu to Mark Spector and back again. These, you know, new number ones, different volumes, you know, legacy numbers. That's the shape of things over there. But his X-Men have been more, you know, he's really infatuated with the Morrison stuff from 24 years ago. It shows the generational power of what Grant Morrison did. I'm a big fan of his new X-Men. I liked it a lot. You know, I think that when he got off the book, the Chuck Austin stuff, that's the stuff that monkey wrenched a lot of things, messing with Zorn and Magneto and having to, you know, save Magneto from Grant's intentions of returning him to being an asshole terrorist. That's exactly what those are. That is a quote from Morrison. That's what Morrison wanted to remind the world who Magneto was, and the whole thing of like, maybe there was a message there. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I was a huge fan of Magneto as Zorn, not some kind of like weird soap opera twin thing when it comes to Zorn himself. There are two Zorns. What? Oh, Misery got stung by a bee. Oh. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Silent Missions. Feel like I got burned on that. That was just a trade paperback waiting to happen. It's trying to milk on it, but it's a publication and it's a publisher publishing magazines to get you to spend your money. So yes, I feel as though that Skybound Image and Robert Kirkman's little thing there got maybe about $32 more out of me this year than they would between the 5 issues of the G.I. Joe Silent Missions, which I didn't think that were all that good. I thought the Jinx one was the best because that had style, that had good, decent timing. It's interesting. It was, the clock countdown of the bomb. So you had this pacing, like, it was like a page per second, of real time in the book. It worked. I mean, here I am, and striking color palette, interesting, art choices, ninja stuff, get a range viper to fight, was it a range viper or was it like a night viper? So many vipers. I think G.I. Joe I aged out of G.I. Joe about 1986 at 13, and that's when Cobra in the movie came about. That was 87 to be sure. I think that G.I. Joe jumped the shark on the TV show with Cobra. I never was a fan of that. But I had aged out. I was too old to buy action figures. My opinion wouldn't matter anymore. What else? Oh yeah, so G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, The Silent Missions, One World Under Doom overall for Marvel. I've read pretty much everything except for the last issue of One World Under Doom, the event itself, the core event. I think it went 9 issues. I read 8 of them. And I said, Bob Dylan said, "I'm going back to New York City. I do believe I've had enough." Exactly. But I mean, they had real stinkers like Doom's Division, Doom Academy, the Superior Avengers, which it started pretty interesting, but then it fell apart. I mean, it just, like, I don't know, it became useless and stupid, and just there was some interesting, like, villain-based. They all contributed to, like, this dagger. They all had to kill an innocent person for their soul with this dagger. So it was like Mephisto trying to charge up this sacrificial knife with bad mojo by offering it to different villains and giving them a deal. If you do this, I'll do this for you, kind of thing. And I barely know how it ended, and I don't care. It was that bad. I mean, Red Hulk, Ben Percy's Red Hulk, 10 issues of that was the highlight of One World Under Doom, to be sure. You have to keep an eye on the time. Oh. No, I was checking my texts. It's New Year's Eve. I got stuff to do. I got plans. I got to get in the shower and get pretty. Shower, shave. You know what I mean? Brush my teeth. Pluck my eyebrow hair. That one little eyebrow hair that just like, what? And then others Marvel stuff too, because I read a lot of Marvel. I do say that I read usually for the past 3 years, being part of Wes's show. I have access to to review copies. And usually, yeah, and sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. I'm grateful to get them when I do get them. I don't feel entitled to them. There is a direct, there is a responsibility if I get these review issues that to have a capsule review in by Thursday morning, so it could or could not be used for Hot or Not on the Thinking Critical show on its Thursday. They taped it on Thursdays, so it's like I get access to these books, and you know what I mean. What's the expectation? Fucking review them. Spend a couple of minutes, read them, get a couple of thoughts, you know, and then also this is like establishes my weird takes, my bad takes and weirdness and taste, I guess. But I think fun goes a long way in a comic book. And you can be fun and not serious, fun and stupid, fun and juvenile, you know, hence the Jeff stuff. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bad Jeff stuff, but there's been some really fun It's Jeff stuff. Yeah, I mean, and that, see, It's Jeff, some of that stuff could have made the worst of, but it didn't. No, there were worse stuff this year than It's Jeff on Marvel. So I've been reading, I can read sometimes 60 Marvel, 70 Marvel books a month. It's a lot, and that's most of what they're publishing. So I you know, and that's been for like 3 years now. So I have a really interesting, you know, view of Marvel, how they you know, and then there's what I buy, and that's the one where it's like the proof of the pudding is on the plate. It really is. But yeah, other Marvel titles such as like Thunderbolts, by Lansing and Kelly. That was just so bad. The New Champions book. I mean, this is with all there's so many. You know, there were so many kid and teen sidekick characters introduced in Marvel over the past 3 years. And then someone reminded me of Vita Ayala and her Children of the Atom. So now you got to add 5 more of those teen characters on, and maybe even, you know, Daniel Kibblesmith's new champions. Were they the new champions? The one with Snowflake and Safe Space, Be Positive, Trailblazer, and Internet Gas Guy. Those were 5. There's 10, and then comes like every X-Men team has like 4 or 5 young people, and that's part of it. That's part of the X-Men experience, is teaching the next generation. You know, these young people have their gifts have emerged, and we're here to help them, you know, balance their life with their gifts. And especially if your gifts make you an outcast of society, if it makes you look weird, it goes, and then there comes, you know, if you look different, if you've been othered by your non-mutable features, the way your skin looks, the way you know what I mean, just to, you know, so things like that, like. That's where, you know, a lot of identity stuff comes from that too. Yeah, but every one of these X-Men teams have about 4 or 5 new, like, kid characters. Like I'm talking about Jed McKay's, Gail Simone's, and Eve Ewing's teams. All 3 of those X-Men teams, the Bayou team, the Chicago team, and the Alaska team, they all have the, you know, veterans, mentors, and students. This is about 15. So that's like 25, and then comes the New Champions, and then comes Strange Academy, or Doom's Academy. That was 25. There was probably about 8 New Champions. It's at least 5. So it's less than 40 characters, each with a code name, an aesthetic, a licensing right, a secret identity, a family, a balance to learn about adventuring and life. You know, I mean, yeah, those are like a lot of those young characters. I mean, geez, I know, huh? Best of, though, yeah. I mean, DC Comics, I got Best of. Superman is definitely my favorite DC comic this year. Followed very closely by Green Lantern. And when Jeremy Adams was on Green Lantern Corps, I mean, I'm not the Morgan Hampton isn't really my cup of tea. Maybe I should be giving him a chance and to see where he takes, the Green Lantern Corps without Jeremy Adams. I mean, maybe I should give him more of a chance. I took it off my poll when Jeremy Adams left the book because I mostly cover on my poll list. I cover writers and artists. I do, yeah. That's where So it's like that's where my reading goes, and my collection is more of an accumulation than it is an actual collection. It really is. Aquaman as well. Jeremy Adams doing a great job on Aquaman. Ram V and Evan Cagle's The New Gods. And with all of the help that Evan Cagle got too, because there was always some kind of opening exposition done from a different artist for about 4 pages. And it works. And it's a really good Ram V story. Went 12 issues. And it's a complete story and it could be maybe picked up later, maybe not. You never know. These were, but over in Marvel, like I said, like Marvel has a lot of misses with me because I read a lot of Marvel books, so I'm reading mostly everything they put out. But there are some higher lights to it too, like Deadpool Wolverine by Ben Percy and Joshua Cassara. Was it Joshua Cassara? I think so. That was fun. That was 10 issues of like 90s flavored, just over the top superhero hyper violence, and it was just, if that is the book you're looking for, if you think where are my superhero stories, brother, sister, anyone in between in the grand spectrum of humanity, that was that. Deadpool Wolverine by Ben Percy and company. It was versus, we had Strife versus and Maverick and Apocalypse, and it's such a misfit to continuity. I mean, does it even matter as long as it's like, was it set in the past? I don't even remember. I just remember having fun. I remember loving the art, the panels, the impossible musculatures and the poses and this is superhero comic books, and this is how it's done. I mean, people raved about Weapon X-Men, the second series, the Joe Casey one. And rightfully so. It was a lot better than the previous Weapon X-Men that was like basically a Wolverine multiverse team. Like, hey, we got together all of our multiverse variants of Wolverine. And but Joe Casey did some serious, decent superhero team storytelling set in X-Men books. Joe Casey was writing Uncanny while parallel to Grant Morrison's new X-Men. And it's something I missed on too. I really, it's something I've missed so much X-Men, but it's a joy to go back and catch up on it too. It's always new if you haven't gotten to it yet. I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, Marvel had some like Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red. Probably the best Star Wars book Marvel has put out since 2015, in my humble opinion. And there's a lot of the stuff I haven't gotten to. But I also heard that Vader Down is like the high standard of Disney, Marvel, Star Wars since 2015. So I haven't read that, but I heard Vader Down is impeccable. Yet for me, Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red, it's current. It's 2025. and it's got to be the best current Star Wars floppy out there, and it's going to collect very nicely too. Let's see, Hulk, yeah, Incredible Hulk and Infernal Hulk. This is Infernal Hulk is Act 2 of Philip Kennedy Johnson's big Hulk story. Let's see where he goes with this. I'm really interested. And his collaborations with Nick Klein. Nick Klein is is a treat to view. I hope he gets as many issues as he can done on this book. Red Hulk by Ben Percy. That was 10 issues, over the top superhero stuff. It was like the first 8 issues. It was like screw the Bechdel test in a way. It was great. It was just like it's a superhero comic book. It was well paced. Characters were used very well. It was basically Thaddeus Ross, the Red Hulk, Machine Man, Aaron Stack, and Deathlock, Luther Manning. And then they get a fourth along the way, but it's a jailbreak. It's set to the background of One World Under Doom, and it was the highlight of that event, wherever that goes. I mean, it had Blood Hunt, where Stephen Strange had to surrender to the Sorcerer's supreme power to Victor Von Doom, who broke his no takesies backsies thing and kept it for himself. Therefore, and Victor's dead now, I guess. That's the cult. The culmination was that by the end of One World Under Doom, he gets Valeria Richards killed. His niece, his goddaughter. He gets killed, the one person in this world that he loves, besides himself, and the memory of, his mom and his dead wife, I guess. Is that it? His dead wife? Isn't she in hell or something? Or is that the mother? Because remember, Victor's, magic, and it's like the great balance to the science of the Richards family, the Richards and Storms and Grimms. So Victor appeals to the living tribunal to take his life for hers. And so now Wanda Maximoff is the Sorcerer Supreme. Another mashup, another example of like these traditional women heroes who have their own identity, their own agency, their own power set, their own code name. But like Storm, she's the goddess of thunder now. She's the god of thunder for the Avengers. And that's in her series, her 10-issue series, that was actually interesting, sets up her next series as this goddess of thunder too. So it's like she's no longer the weather witch. She's goddess of thunder. And there's just a whole hierarchy of goddesses of thunder, gods of thunder, of different cultures. It's interesting, but like that's Thor's agency, that's Thor's role. So it's like another case of like, oh, okay, well, all right, there you go with that. Anything else? Yeah, Hell Hunters. Oh well, Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu by Jed McKay. It was really good. Lots of good Dev Premalik art in that. He's someone to watch out for. Hell Hunters by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Fun, set in World War II. The World War II comic. It's Nick Fury with teenage Bucky and Logan, pre-adamantium Logan, and Peggy Carter, and you know what I mean. In the Howling Commandos, just and Captain America's in the background too, like this is like pre-iceberg. Yeah, Steve. Ultimate Black Panther. Ultimate Black Panther for me is the pinnacle of the Ultimate Publishing Initiative. It's the best superhero story Marvel got going on for like 24 consecutive issues. It had a great recipe. It didn't deviate. Great action, court intrigue, melodramatic, soapy romance notes, and fight scenes. Really good fight scenes. It does not reinvent the wheel. It didn't try to reinvent the shit like Hickman tried to do on Ultimate Spider-Man, like Momoko tried to do on Ultimate X-Men. You know what I mean? Like Dennis Camp's trying to do with the Ultimates, trying to this power to the people thing against your oppressors, against like the proletariat will rise, will through union, will togetherness in the grand collective, will you know what I mean? And this international. But yeah, I mean, Ultimate Black Panther it was like it is the best, and it's just it's a suggestion from the channel to you. Rogue Savage Land, that was pretty fun. That was, you know, set between certain issues of like of the X-Men in the early 200s. You know, when Magneto and Xandalani, is that how you say her name? Are stuck in the Savage Land. Rogue's there too. Everyone just went through the Siege Perilous. And everything's kind of weird now, and it was great art. Beautiful Kari Andrew covers for those A covers, and it was just a fun story, set in a great time. JMS J. Michael Straczynski had these team ups, kind of like Marvel team ups of different characters, and it kind of drops the ball at the last one with the Spider-Man versus everyone concept, but there's a lot of strong ones that came before that, like Nick Fury and Fing Fang Foom, set in the World War II. You know what I mean? With really good artwork by Elena Casagrande. You know, just really kind of pleased with a lot of those. Like Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon, that was so much fun. Captain America and Volstagg. These were just fun, weird mismatches, you know. And I thought the Thing in Ghost Rider, though, that one didn't really land with me either, especially because of the design of Ghost Rider. It was most clearly set in the Bronze Age, yet there's Ghost Riders, and this was you know, Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider. His design was clearly more of the like the spiky, you know, look, instead of like that classic, you know, style guide Bible look that he had in the 70s. You know what I mean? Picky? Yeah, I know. What else? Eddie Brock Carnage. That was 10 issues of really good stuff. I'm not really the biggest Eddie Brock Venom fan or symbiotes or anything, but it was an interesting premise, and it was about 8 out of 10 of these issues were really good, and usually get great artwork by Jesus Ciez, backed up a little bit by the guy who did Night Club with Mark Miller, yeah, it by the end it landed a little weakly, but it started really strong. It really did. It was interesting, like a grounded Eddie Brock. You've got all this cosmic stuff with Eddie. What do you do with this character? Well, you do this interesting thing where like you handcuff him, literal, you know, to someone that he hates and that hates him, but they have to get along in order to survive. This goes back to like an old movie with Tony Curtis and Sidney Poitier called The Defiant Ones, where these two, a black guy and a white guy who hate each other, escape from prison, but they're handcuffed together. And what do? And how do they make their getaway? And how do they get along without hurting each other? So, you know what I mean? Until they can... Yeah. Exactly. So we've taken Eddie Brock back to his roots. He's now an investigative journalist again. Investigative journalisms. You and your investigatory journalism. Zoolander, you know. But he's tracking down serial killers. But he's bonded to... So after the events of Venom War, which, you know, reset the status quo on symbiotes and in the Marvel Universe. I told you I've read all of these fucking Marvel books. Eddie had to be... Mary Jane ended up bonding with Venom over on All New Venom. Eddie Brock had to bond with Carnage. And so he has to make a deal with Carnage. Carnage needs to have to eat to survive. Eddie needs Carnage to survive in order to survive himself. Carnage needs to be bonded to a host in order to survive, and he has this deal with the devil, with Brock, to keep him alive, and vice versa, because Brock is an experienced symbiote, host. So they have a devil's deal where Eddie Brock is tracking down serial killers and letting Carnage eat them. It sounds like Dexter from Showtime. It's supposed to be. So it's Dexter meets Marvel Comics, and it worked for several issues. And then, they introduced Muse from the Daredevil show. Muse has had a lot of, like, because of the Disney Plus Daredevil Born Again show, using Muse has been put to the forefront as a more of it's use your hot hand, I guess. Yeah, and I'll also have to include most of Spider-Man Wolverine when Kari Andrews is drawing it. I have no interest in it otherwise. Other noticeables from independent comics: Robo Wolf on Dark Horse. It's 2 out of 3 issues have come out, and it's just fun, mindless, not late 80s style of characters and storytelling and of art style. It's very retro, so it's welcome. It's not serious. It's fun at the same time. It's pretty, it's superhero violent-y, and it's its own thing. And it's supposed to evoke a certain era of comics and a certain, I'm in, because I was there for that. Savage Dragon, something I've caught on to from Image Comics only recently, but I love every issue I get. Image Comics for me was, like, I think, the big winner this year of 2025. Who won? Who's the big winner? Image Comics. I mean, I'm getting so many Image Comics. I'm getting Savage Dragon. I'm getting Rick Remender's Sacrificers. I'm getting G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. I'm getting Energon Universe G.I. Joe. I'm getting Energon Universe Transformers. I'm also getting Ghost Machines, Rook Exodus. And is there anything else here? I mean, that's 6 titles, and those are all on my pull. And that's over. That's I only have probably 3 DC if I'm lucky: Superman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and then I'll pick up stuff off the shelves, like here and there if something interests me. And then for Marvel, Ultimate Spider-Man's coming to an end, but Hulk and Ultimate Spider-Man's coming to an end. Punisher's a mini. Wow, yeah, and so not many Marvel books. So yeah, I mean, for the big winner for me this year is Image and Image Skybound. There you go. The proof of the pudding is on the plate. That's what I'm getting this year. Beyond an honorable mention, one of the hands, I have to go back and get it myself, and hopefully I can get the floppies. But because, like I said, I like floppies more than I like trade paperbacks. But it's Michel FIFFE'S The Death of COPRA on Dark Horse Comics. It is he wrote it, he drew it, he lettered it. It's a beautiful comic. It makes you question the value of mercy when it comes to danger. There's something really tragic happens to this one of the characters by she let her guard down, and something really bad happened to her. The pathos, the level of pathos, it was so awe-inspiring. And then the art style, it's just so pleasing to me. It's a truly independent book. And COPRA by Michel Fiffe I've been tuned into it for years, but I've never been like a big fan. I've never bought it. But this came out, and it just, of course, it leapt off the newsstands to me, off the new release stand. And I'm like, holy shit, this is a comic book lover's comic book. This is comics. It's beyond superhero stuff. But COPRA in itself is it's mysterious. There are about powers, and it's about aliens, and it's about intrigue, and it's about murder, and it's about this violent stuff, and it's just like it's its own world, and it's just so good. I guess like probably one of the best comics of 2025. Maybe is the most. It's like Begonia. It was a movie to me. It was so. I haven't stopped thinking about that foolish movie since I saw it for my birthday months ago, like 2 months, almost 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. When did I see? Yeah, so I saw Begonia for my birthday. It's probably my birthday week, so that was a month and a half ago. Yeah. But it's that level of entertaining and that level of mature storytelling. I mean, yeah, and comics are more than the big two superhero stories that we follow and we argue about and that we care about. But also Beneath the Trees, Where Nobody Sees. Where did you go? I had you. Oh, I had them. Where did they go? Oh well, they were around. I had all four of them, the 4 out of 6 of them, and I have all of the movie poster variant covers too. But it's Beneath the Trees, Where Nobody Sees. Once again, let's talk about Dexter as an impact. But this is like Dexter meets Richard Scarry's children books. With anthropomorphic, nice small town, anthropomorphic animals. You know, bears and turtles and ducks wearing clothes, driving cars, having small businesses and stuff, having lives. You know what I mean? There are no humans in this world. It's just anthropomorphic animals. And it's set in a small town where it contains an unbeknownst to them serial killer, one of their community, Samantha Strong. And the original Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is an amazing 6 issue. It's a trade paperback. I buy it and I gift it to people. It's the power of the medium. It's a good example of a great modern comic book that you can suggest to a new reader that they don't have to worry about superhero stuff, you know. And so this is its sequel series, and it's great. It's really good because I love the art, and again, you know, it's one person's vision, art, story, and just it completely works. And that's about it for comics for 2025. What does 2026 have to hold for the channel, for the Sunday live stream, the Super Sully Sunday stream? Well, we'll do it as much as we can, as much as it's feasible. But guess what? I get out of the house a lot more these days. I mean, I'm already doing a live stream on 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern. Wes's for as long as that goes on too. I mean, I've been on it for 3 years, and it's I hope to be on it 3 more years. But also, it's like just like be blessed and grateful for what you got now, and I am. But I have more things to do on the weekends now. I have new friends and and I need to, be hanging out. And it's nice. You invite someone into your life. Well, you got to do something with the time that you're given and share it together and have fun and let things grow, and that's where I'm at right now. And so I'll continue to be doing Smoking Puck. I'll be continuing to doing cooking videos and comic book videos. And so you can always catch me at Wes's every Saturday, and I'll continue to make comic book shop style conversation as well. And to everyone that tunes in, your loyalty and your viewership has always gone noticed. I miss the ones that have fallen away from us. I really appreciate everyone that shows up for my little show. You know what I mean? God bless you all. Thank you so very much. All righty. Well, that's about it for this show. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you next year in 2026. That's right. Well, God bless. Happy New Year. I hope everything goes your way. Seriously. Me too. Me included. All right. Cheers. We'll see you in the funny pages. Bye-bye.